Right, my name's Dr Coleman. I'm going to talk to you about conversions, okay? I'm the copywriter for Solar, so a lot of the affiliate products that you promote, I've wrote the copy for. Yes, it's my fault. We test things all the time. In the past, I've been a marketing manager where I've used copywriting. I've been a freelance copywriter. And yes, it does fascinate me, and I'm extremely enthusiastic about it, okay? I love the psychology of conversions and talking about copywriting, things like that. I think you'll all get something from today. When I was putting this together, I thought, what am I going to talk about? So I wanted it to be things that you could take away and use and not a half-hour unstructured. So I've got 3 things that I thought to myself, if I was going to set up an affiliate site, let's say a review site, then these are the 3 things, the main principles I'd concentrate on. They're not necessarily specific things, but they're the principles, as you'll see. Right, first of all, though, we're just going to clarify what a conversion is, because when you say conversion, people automatically think, sale, give me the money. But although that's the main one, and that's the one you want to aim for, there are other things. So a conversion is actually anything that you want to get somebody to do on your site, obviously. So buying something, joining your mailing list, click on a link, click on one of your ads or banners, respond to an email, fill in a questionnaire. There's lots of different conversions that you can set as positive goals, as it were. Obviously, the sales is the biggest one. Now, the other thing that's exciting about raising your conversions when you get it right is it doesn't normally cost anything other than your time, because you're working on a site you've already got, okay? I've just been talking to Francis there, I enjoy talking to and he was talking about his sites and conversions and how you can raise when the people come to your site, you want to convert more of them into doing something you want them to do. So if your website converts, these are just blank figures at 1%, 100 visitors, 1 sale. So to get 2 sales, you need 200 visitors. If you can increase your conversions to 2%, you're going to get 2 sales from the same amount of visitors. And obviously, you can move those conversions up. So in other words, yeah, the time spent on improving conversions is well spent. So how do we actually go about increasing conversions? There you go. So I've got 3 tactics today. What I did, I thought I'd find the 3 main principles that I would use that I'm going to go through. So the first one is you've got to help your website visitors to trust you. So who are you? You see many sites, especially affiliate review sites, where you go to the site and they all say the same. We've saved you the trouble of looking through countless things, spending countless money. We're going to tell you the top 3, 5, 10, whatever products in this niche that are going to get you the goals you need. That's all fine, but you've got to get them to trust you. Obviously, I was a lot younger there. So tell your story. The more visitors relate to you, the more they're likely to trust you, okay? If your site's anonymous, people are going to be suspicious. Not everybody, some people will buy, but isn't it better to raise the game and take the chance? At least test this. Tell them your story, who you are and why you should listen to you. I put Proactol just as a reminder. When I've rewritten Proactol, for those of you who deal with it, you'll notice now that there's a spokeswoman there who's representing the product. And the reason we tried that tack and they went along with my idea was all the other products I looked at when I was researching, nobody does it. They're all very anonymous products. So I thought if we attach a person, a name and identity to the product, people might relate to it more because you're not hiding, you're putting yourself out there. I remember before I really got into affiliate marketing, I used to see sites, review sites, because we all sort of look for them. But I thought, who's this person? Why should I believe what they're telling me? What's their story? Are they hiding? I can't see a face. I can't see anything. So have your photo on the site, try it, and perhaps a signature on your own page. We did test it on a sales page when I worked for Shirion, and we just added Rob Watts' signature under this headline, and it increased conversions by 8%, and it's the only thing we changed, and we tested it, 8%. That's not a massive amount, but it took 5 minutes to do. So it's worth trying things like this. So the more proof, the more sales. The proof is also in the products that you're promoting. People want proof. I do, definitely. What you've also got to do is look at what you do when you go online and you're looking at products. Do you look at testimonials and reviews for products? Do you go to review sites? We talk about buying keywords, and a lot of you probably aim for keywords like buy, Proactol, review, that kind of thing, whatever product it is. So when they get to your site, it would be better if you can offer more proof than other sites or present it in a better way. So if you can find out, remember on the sales page and on the sites that we have, we do try and include a lot of proof, testimonials, things like that. If you've got a review site, base reviews on a set criteria so it doesn't look like you're picking favourites randomly. the thing is, when people see it, they don't want to think that you're promoting a product. They want to think you're suggesting a product. That's certainly what I want to see when I go on a site. So, for instance, I was thinking about this last night, and I would even test, a lot of review sites will have a product banner as well as the reviews of the favourite product that they're promoting. I would test that against having a banner or not, because to me, it might look a bit desperate that you're really trying to shift that product when you're supposed to be an impartial site, and that will help people trust you. You might be doing that, that's fine. Remember, the things I'm talking about today, some of you already do. You're all at different levels, time-wise in affiliate marketing, financially, etc. But it's always worth revisiting things like this, even if you use them. So user proof from the product site, because we normally have research tests, show the ingredients. I've put a question because obviously it's not forced to be an ingredient-based product. If it is, you can have separate proof for the ingredients themselves. So you can you'll find tons of proof online, and we put stuff on the site anyway. And before you put anything on your site, think, will this help my conversions? Okay, and structure what you're doing as you go along. So you test things. For those that you don't know how to test, it's not a difficult task, and you've got brilliant affiliate managers that can help you and advise you on that. And all it means is, if this was your web page, you've got a headline, a lot of you already know, you can run it through Google so that it will show half your visitors one headline or one aspect of your site and half the other. Then you can find out which converts better and then gradually increase your conversions by testing. If you are converting at, say, 1%, and you can test a headline, and after a few weeks that one's converting at 1.5%, your profits are going up, your conversions are going up, your success is going up. So then you can drop the old headline that wasn't converting very well and replace it with a new one. And that's what all the top marketers, especially in like the make money niche where there's a lot of money, will keep testing things to build up the conversions and therefore the profits. It's cheap and quick to do, and it's incredibly effective. If you're not doing it, you're not at that stage yet, do keep it in mind. Talk to your affiliate managers, I'm sure they'll help you. But it's incredibly valuable, and it's a really powerful thing, because you will definitely keep moving your profits up. Second one, and the one that's closest to my heart, obviously, is good copywriting. Now, when you talk about copywriting to people, copywriting is not really a very attractive word. People say, what, you patent things, what do you do? Copywriting is just salesmanship in print or on the web. So it's using words to shift product, basically, to convince people to do what I want them to do, which is buy whatever product it is. So there are various ways you can use. Now, don't get me wrong, copywriting is a whole subject. You could stand here for weeks and explain it. I'm still learning every day. But it doesn't have to be difficult when we're talking about the principles, okay? Now, what I've said is, if I was setting a site up, this is what I would do. I have got my own sites, I've had them in the past. I don't concentrate them on as much now because I'm busy with what I do at work. But I've tested a lot of this stuff. We've tested as a group a lot of this stuff. I've done a lot of freelance work when we've tested, and I've tested in other jobs. And also, I'm on nearly every newsletter, every top copywriter in the world who gladly share their split tests, things like that. So please understand, this is definitely worth you having a look at and trying out. Okay, this is not off the top of my head, this is from years. Ogilvy and Mather, a big advertising agency, have reported that readership drops sharply after the first 50 words of a piece, then levels off until at least 500 words. People decide whether or not to read your copy based on its headline, okay? In other words, they will scan and see if something makes them read more. They might not come back, so they're gone. We've just been talking about books, David Book, and we're saying 1% of books are only ever read for like the first chapter. So you'll go and buy a book, you'll start reading it and think, well, this does nothing for me, and put it down. It's exactly the same with a website. I've also just been saying that back in the days when I was a salesman, what used to happen is you go to an appointment, you try and sell them something, but you don't walk in the door and say, how are you, David? Are you ready to buy this photocopy, or whatever it might be? You'd break the ice, okay? You'd find out a common ground. You'd look around the room, see if there's something. I've just been talking about this to somebody. It might be a fishing trip. Oh, you go fishing, I go fishing. You can't, man. What? That type of thing. You break the ice because you're not supposed to sell them the minute you get through the door. It's not foot in the door sales, doesn't work like that. So a lot of people bring that and take it online with the site and say, well, I'm going to introduce myself first. No, that doesn't work. It's a different thing. One of the reasons people won't throw you out in your live situation is politeness, especially the English. We're too polite. You won't tell them what you think and throw them out. So you've got that time where you can break the ice before you sell. Online you can't, because people, to get rid of you, just click a button, that's it. There's no politeness, no manners, they're not going to hurt your feelings, you're not even going to see them. So you know, when you're online and you're looking, you don't read every sales page or every website you go to from start to finish. You do what everybody does and you scan. They've done eye tracking, and you'll go to the left top first, look across, headline, Okay, that interests me. And then you read through, okay? So that's what you've got to think when you lay your site out. Draw people in. A very famous copywriter said, you've got to, on your homepage, harpoon their eyeballs and drag them into your page. Now, I know that sounds a bit like Saw or a Quentin Tarantino sales page, but he's right. You have to grab them, because if you don't, the next person will, okay? This is an example. I don't know whose site it is. I was really trying to find something quickly, okay? This kind of thing you want to vote. Welcome to my site. Nobody cares about your site or you. What's in it for me? There's no proper headline, and you see that tons of times. So if I'm online and I'm clicking through and looking at that, I see that, okay, they've got a photo, which I spoke about before, which is a good aspect. And then there's a big block of uninviting text that I wouldn't necessarily want to read. There's nothing separating it. And can you tell what that site's about instantly? Now, that's not necessarily affiliate site, but it's an extreme, so I can show you the principles. Instant Performer, which is one of more niche. There's a headline immediately that's what's in it for me. Instant Performer works so fast, you'll go from to raising rates in 40 seconds. Okay? So when I was writing it, I thought, okay, what do these people want? So that's why I came up with it so quickly. Then copy in small paragraphs and bullet points. Break the copy up. You might have heard the phrase use lots of white space. That's what it means. So it doesn't look threatening. People go, oh, I can't read that. You know what it's like. It's like reading health and safety things. It's always small font, bunched together. Don't do that. And you can tell what the site is about instantly. Okay, it's got like the sexual overtone, if you like. And then we're straight into bullet points thing. But that's really broken up and it's really inviting to read. And the only purpose of the headline is to get them to read the next line. If you pick up a newspaper and read through it, you don't read some people do, I apologise, but not many, I certainly don't. You read through. How do you decide what articles to read? By the headline, okay? It's that simple. So think of that when you're working. So this I've knocked up as just to put that together in an affiliate site, okay? So there's a headline, what's in it? So tell them why they should keep reading, how their life will change for the better. So if it's slimming, talk about how they're going to be slimmer. But remember, people don't buy weight loss pills to lose weight. Nobody buys it for that. They buy it so they can look great in the bikini or trunks or shorts on a beach holiday, that they can be attractive to opposite sex, that they can buy those clothes that they're jealous to death that they've seen other people wearing, the latest fashions. They can wear things because they want to, not because they've got to. That's why people lose weight. And so they can have the compliments and the flattery. They don't do it to lose weight. Agitate the problem. So there, what I would normally just say, I know what it's like, and I'd say something like I've just said to you. You've probably seen it on the sites. And then what we're doing, we start why, what, how. So we start legitimising the product and the site. So if this was a review site, why are you reviewing products? How are you reviewing them? Who's reviewing them? Who's paying for the products to review? I'd want to know that. And if you can answer me them questions, I'm more likely to trust you. Okay, so you used to be overweight. Now you think, and these are the products you use successfully. And this number one choice is the one that gave you most of your success. Okay, I can see your photo, I can see your reel, you've got a before and after photo, a couple of kids with you there. It may sound cliched and cheesy, but this stuff works because it's breaking down the anonymity of the site. But like I said before I started in affiliate marketing, I used to think, who are they, why is this person telling me this, and why should I believe them? Okay, build trust by not hiding. So you can have your photo, your signature. It can be a pen name. You can have a different identity. People do it, authors do it all the time, don't they, William? Right. Talk about benefits. I know it's once again it's cliche, but it's incredibly important that you talk about benefits. Okay? Mention features, but talk about benefits. Tell them what the product can do with them. Right? It makes life better, slimmer, rich, more sexually attractive. That's why people buy an emotion and justify later with logic. Okay? So they've simply got to have this musical grape peeler at £30. And then when they realise what they've spent and they get home, they start saying, oh, well, it'll be good at parties and all. It's literal. You'll buy on an impulse and on emotion. Make them picture the new life. Experience it. Paint word pictures for them. Like I've said, when you've done that, can you imagine what's going to happen when you go on your next holiday? You've got time to do it. Let's go. You're going to be walking out the beach, head held high. You're going to be able to wear these clothes you want to wear. Or if it's male enhancement, the same type of thing. Don't think about enlarging the penis, think about the better sex they're going to have later, the self-confidence they're going to have, the pulling power they're going to feel they have, that kind of thing, okay? This is what people want to hear. If you're stuck, use the phrase, which means. The report years ago, I think it was Brett McFall, the copywriter, who said, I'll give you two words that will transform, like, for instance, your bullet points, or when you're talking about benefits. So in other words, when going through the features of a product, you follow that, which means, and then put a benefit. Our products are completely pure and natural, which means no chance of you getting ill, being a test guinea pig, that kind of thing. Give them the benefit of that after. And you can literally type the words and put it, or just have it as, you'll see I use a lot of italicized text after that. We'll put like the benefit or the feature, and then in italics I'll put what it actually means to them, the emotive side, the beneficial side. So what we've gone over there is removing anonymity, okay, so get yourself out there or some identity on your site, especially if it's a review site. People will trust you more. I've done it before on my own sites and tried it with and without, and every other split test I've read, virtually every one, when they put a photo or signature on, conversions went up. And I'm absolutely convinced it is literally just because they now know who you are. It's not anonymous. They can trust you. You're not hiding, okay? So just, if you're not already doing it, try it. If you are doing it, fantastic. Then we've talked quickly about copywriting, which is salesmanship in print, which is talking about how to get people to buy from you. So make sure you use a headline. Make sure you talk about benefits, okay? You can have features, okay? Like a feature is, it's all natural ingredients. Benefit is, no chance of you getting ill. Totally works with your own system. There's no side effects, that kind of thing, okay? Paint word pictures. Talk about how it's going to change life, make them better in whatever way that niche is going to make them better. Now, this third one, I think, is one of the most powerful, okay? Get more than one bite apple, build a list. For those of you who don't know, a list is simply a list of subscribers, okay? You've all seen the sites where you go and there's an email capture form, okay? Now, for those of you who are doing this, you'll know. Paul, you do this, don't you? Is it powerful? Yes. Thank you, son. Well done. This is one of the most powerful things. You spend time, money, and effort getting people to your site, okay? If they're going to look around and everybody will have a look around and decide whether they want to stay and buy anything or bookmark you or whatever, and then they'll bail, okay? If you can get them on your list, meaning get them to put their email in, and you use an autoresponder, which is really easy to use, and you collect a list of subscribers, so you can have a newsletter, but what you need to really be doing is giving away a free, valuable report. So if you've got a weight loss site, have a report, the 10 best tips you can use starting today to lose £2 this week. Don't eat carbs, drink lots of water, etc. You can put them together. You can look online and get them. We've got PLR. I've got tons of PLR. We can stick it on the server somewhere and let you have a look. That kind of thing, brand it up, put it on there, because attract them to that as soon as they get to your site, okay? People will put their email in, and that's another thing as well. Don't necessarily do that. You can have just an email address instead of name. Years ago, when people opened their email and it said, "Hi, Phil," they're like, "Ooh, knows who I am. This is very clever." That doesn't have the same weight anymore because people are used to be on the internet. And also, for every extra field you're going to fill in, your conversions will drop. So just have email address. That's what I would do, and we do, wherever possible. So just use your their email address. Once you've signed up to your list, okay, don't have that go through to the download of the report. Make sure that they have to double opt in and confirm their opt-in before you give them the report, or they'll get the report and they won't bother opting in, okay? Get them on your list. Then what you need to do, offer them something valuable. Then newsletter, you can say, join my newsletter and you'll get this free report. Now you have permission to keep contacting them, and it's spam compliant. So let's say it's weight loss. A newsletter example can be nutritional info. For instance, B vitamins are known to help you lose weight. It's something to do with the burn fat you're already storing or something like that. It wouldn't take you long to go online and just put B vitamins and fat loss, minerals and fat loss, vitamins and fat loss, that, and just get a few nuggets, put them in the email, okay? And that's giving them useful information. If you try and pitch them in every email, it won't work. There's some marketers out there that do, but the lists are that big and they cope with such a high unsubscribe rate that they're happy with that, and they'll just bladder you with offers every day, which I don't like. I'll just immediately unsubscribe. If somebody gives me good information, I'll stay. I'm on certain people's lists, and they constantly send me good information. I've been on the list some for 7 or 8 years, but they're giving me good information, and I've bought things through them because I trust them. Just keep that in mind, that once again, it's also building trust, like we talked about before, because you've got more chance to tell them about yourself in the more relaxed environment of a newsletter, okay? What you can also do is send the newsletter and have it with just a link to a page on your site, and when you give them this information, have it as content on your site, have it as content on your site, and then it also keeps them coming back to your site where you can resell them other things, and it's content that can be indexed. So there's that. Quality info, and it keeps you on their radar, then you can keep suggesting products. So it can be first email, here's your free report, next email, hey, we're looking on the thing, I'm always researching nutrition, and I found this amazing tip about the exact amount of water you need to drink every day to lose a pound a week, that kind of thing. And then you give them the information. And it's the principle of, if I came up to you and every time you saw me, I was like, hey, how are you doing? I've got this amazing product, you want to see it, it's fantastic, it's for article marketing, gets all your articles out and I try and sell it, yeah? Next time I see you and I'm selling you something else. Every time you'd be avoiding me, okay? If I came up and I said, I was reading the other day, do you know B vitamins? And they're only like £2 in Holland Barrett, and they can help you lose X amount of weight. And then the next time I gave you another tip, and so forth. You're more likely to keep opening my newsletter, keep coming back to see what I've got for you, okay? And then it's less of a sale then, it's more of a recommendation. Here's your tip. Oh, and by the way, I boosted mine the most when I used this product. Check it out. Here you are. There's a link, that kind of thing. Obviously, you can contact your list when you want. And so you can, if something suddenly comes up, you can do a broadcast where you just send to all your list, okay? And don't think because you haven't got a list, well, I haven't got a list, I've only got 10 on my list. Everybody starts with that amount. You have to build up, and it's well worth putting this into place, well worth it, because it's so powerful. It keeps you in front of your audience, and it also builds your authority in your niche. Because if you're the one giving the information, you're the one that's sounding knowledgeable. And when you're knowledgeable in your niche, people will once again start to trust you more and rely on you. Well, that's fine, but that Phil over there on that diet, he didn't say that, and he's sending me all this good stuff, and I've tried it, and a lot of it works. So these type of things combined will make a big difference. But personally, if you're not doing this, I would do it. Get it together and build a list. The affiliate managers will help you if you're struggling. You can use Aweber GetResponse. Don't try and use your own autoresponder on your own server, because the top ones, Aweber GetResponse, are whitelisted with all the IP, you know, all the like Google and things. So your email will get through, because it's not going to do a thing if your email doesn't get through. Okay. Also remember quickly while we're on emails, if you're sending emails, the most important part of the email is the subject line. If people don't respond to the subject line, they won't even open your email. So that has to be like a headline in itself. Okay. So you don't try and sell in the subject line, just give them something really interesting, an amazing thing to help you lose £2 in a week, that kind of thing, that's curiosity building, doesn't look like you're necessarily pitching something. Yeah, also, what you can do, if you're new to it and you haven't even set anything up yet, or you want an extra little project set up, try just having what they call a squeeze page, opt-in page, where the site's like that. You've got a headline, you've got the bullet points, and it's just that. And they out-convert every other type of site. If you've got an affiliate site or an e-commerce site with lots of navigational links, things, that won't convert as well, normally, as a sales page. So a sales page on its own, without any leakage with links, people will read and either buy or leave. But surprisingly enough, that will out-convert because you're giving them less to decide about, okay? So with the same principle, if you have a squeeze page, it's put your email in there or bugger off. That's it. You've got two choices. But you make that attractive, people will join your list, and then you can keep selling them and give more of a subtle sales pitch after. Okay? Now, the money is not in the list, as you've been told. It's how you treat your list. So it's all about quality, okay? And they will be a valuable asset if you treat them right. Don't try and pitch them all the time. As I've said, good information. And there's two principles that we're talking about, the law of reciprocation and commitment and consistency. There's a book by a guy called Cialdini, which is about the psychology of influence, Persuasion, the Psychology of Influence, I think it's called. And I used to read about all the top copywriters, and they all suggested you get this book, so I did. And what it is, it's on about these laws that have been around for years. Law of reciprocation is, if I do something for you, no matter how small, you'll feel beholden to do something back for me. Okay? It doesn't work on everybody, but it works on enough for it to be a law. That's why, like the hair Christians at the airport with the flower, they read this stuff and thought, that sounds good. So they offer a little flower, and then you're more likely to want to give them a donation, okay? Because obviously they rely on that. And it is with a lot of things. When you get direct mail come through the post and there's a free pen for an insurance, they're giving you the free pen because of that, law of reciprocation. They've given you something, you're more likely to respond favourably to their offer. And enough people do it statistically and respond to that to make it effective, okay? That's why free reports work. That's why free info. The more you give them, they start thinking, I've really got to give something back. Frank Kern did it with, who's a big marketer online for Make Money. And he actually had people, when he did a pre-launch, giving that much good information away, he actually had people emailing saying, please sell me something. Literally, you must have a product. This is great. This is your free stuff. Imagine what your real stuff's like. So keep that in mind. Commitment to consistency. If people make an action towards something, they're likely to keep moving towards that, okay? So once they've put their email in your site and they've gone onto your list, they're more likely to buy from you. Statistically, it goes up because they're moving towards that. Yes, I agree with this information, it's good, I want more, and they'll keep them moving towards you. So get them on your list, get them filling out questionnaires, get them emailing, and ask them what information they'd like from you, anything like that. So you're drawing them towards you all the time. Because once they've made a commitment, they tend to be consistent with it and keep moving forward, okay? Some niches respond to this more than others, obviously, but more niche products perfect for this. Because let's say it's weight loss. There's so much information out there on weight loss that you can go and dig up and look, and the latest things, sign up for newsletters yourself, get informed about your niche yourself. Most of the super affiliates, the people who are really in the money, get educated in the niche, and they can talk to you eloquently about their niche, and they can answer questions in it, and they know what latest things are happening in it, what are the latest products findings, okay? So even if you do a bit of that, just to be able to pass it on, you can put it on your site as well as content, but build a list, give them this good information, and they'll keep coming back. As I say, most niches are information-based, so give them high-quality, useful info, and you're good to go. And remember to test, test, test. So even on a squeeze page, you can have a test. You can test it with different headlines, put just your photograph as well underneath on this. Keep testing, keep seeing what works. Right, none of this that I've shown you is difficult, and it does take a little time, okay? But what you have to remember is you can have affiliate marketing as your future career. We see it all the time. The affiliate managers we've got are fantastic, okay? And I've put down there, we've got the best affiliate managers on the planet to help you. Work in the next room to me, they all work hard, they play hard, but they're always coming in. If we've got a product that we're developing from, they always come in, right, is it here? Come on, get your finger out. We've got to get this moving. We've got affiliates waiting. And they're always working on your behalf and pushing you forward. The thing is as well, if you get them to help you and to implement some of this if you're stuck, don't do it on a whim and then don't follow it through. But when you decide, you know what, I'm going to do that, I want to build a list. Hit them up, get them to work with you, and they will work with you. They know what they're doing, and they'll explain to you what to do to get that moving forward. Once you've done it, you're only doing it once, okay? Like the who are you bit is not difficult to come up with. You can be you. Stick your photo and your signature on. If you only do those two things, remember the signature we tried, results went up 8%. And it's not difficult writing about the benefits, okay? You'll find them on the product site and you'll soon be doing it in your sleep. If you're dealing with certain products, you will get used to the benefits of those products. And then if you add a new product, you're just adding that to your repertoire, okay? And you're moving forward. So get to know your products as well. It can take a little time to put together, but the rewards can be enormous. I can't begin to explain that whenever I build a site, or we're doing anything that will work to these principles, I'm not making it up on the spot. This is stuff, as you can probably tell, that I've done a long time, and we use this all the time. And the reason being, because I've seen it, tried it, tested it, and this is the stuff that works, okay? You can ignore it as you feel it's too much effort, but you only have to do it once, okay? Once you've got your website set up with an opt-in box, then all the people you send to your site have the chance to opt in. You can reel them in, okay? How are we doing for time? All right. So you can reel them in and then start giving them good information, building trust, and you will sell products. It's that simple, okay? So keep moving forward, keep adding bits, keep testing. Don't let your site go stagnant. Keep adding content, keep moving forward. And remember what I said, a conversion is not necessarily a sale, but I would say the two main ones to concentrate on is a conversion, getting somebody on your list, and obviously somebody to click through to wherever you're clicking them through to. And they're more likely to do that if you use the first two things that I said. Give them somebody to relate to, your identity, and give them reasons to buy, benefits, use emotions. The other thing I've just said, I talked to Francis about, was the best phrase I've ever heard. You ought to write this down. Before you sit down to write copy, remember this. Don't tell me about your grass seed, tell me about my lawn. Just think of the principle of that. It's so simple, but it's so effective. Because if you imagine you're selling grass seed, people would say, oh, grass seed's made from the hardiest seeds, cross-fertilised, and Canadian seed and French seed and this. Shouldn't be saying that. What they should be doing is telling them about their lawn. If you use our grass seed, your neighbours will be knocking on your door saying, how do you get a billiard table green lawn? Your kids will never get a scuff. It'll stay green all year round. It's easy to mow. It doesn't get, etc. That's what people are looking for. It's the old phrases like that are worth the weight in gold. Just remember, before you sit down and write copy, what's in it for them? How am I going to improve their life? Okay? Thank you very much for listening. And I'm going to answer some questions.
Thank you very much indeed, Phil. If I can speak personally, I think that's one of the most inspiring 35 minutes I've had in my life. Since I became an entrepreneur and got out of the big companies, you know, I don't think I've heard anyone with such enthusiasm talking about it from so many different angles. For me, what I loved was the way you looked at it from everyone's different angle, not just you developing the site, but the people looking at it. I loved how often you were saying how this doesn't take a long time, how simple it is. How simple it is.
But the rewards are forever.
And the rewards are forever.
Yeah.
And I loved your line, put your email address in here or bugger off. I'm going to put that on our site tonight. I think that would be really good, yeah. We've got plenty of time. You probably heard, forgive me hearing me whispering here, we're just rejigging the day. Don't worry, it's still going to happen. So any questions for Phil, please? And after that, I'm sure there's going to be loads.
Yeah, where's the paracetamol?
Oh, no, there's some non-Brits in the audience. So they'll want to ask. So I'll just turn this on. There you are, thank you. Could you introduce yourself as well?
My name's Ads Travel,
yeah.
And yeah, I just wanted to ask you the difference between US-based sites and UK sites.
With regard to copy?
Yeah.
Because of the ASA?
That and also the different mentality.
Right. What we've found in the past with the UK, you tend to... A lot of people say you have to be less hypey, if you like, so calm down the claims, things like that, but I don't think we've really found that. You can tone it down a little bit. With regard to the ASA, for those who don't know the Advertiser Standards Authority, the end of April, they're clamping down now on anybody that sells to Brits. So you've got to substantiate every single claim. You've got to re-look at every single word on your site, make sure you can back everything up. So a lot of my job has been rewriting the sites for the Co-UK, and I'm still learning about what the ASA will go for and what they won't. But basically, you have to overprove everything that you're claiming. With regard to, if that wasn't there and it was just Co-UK and Com, as I say, many people have said before that you can be hypier with Com and less hypier with Co-UK because we're so reserved and we just won't have any of that. So, but I don't necessarily find that to be a big issue. I really don't. If you use the principles, because it's a worldwide psychology, that you want to buy something for the benefits it'll give you, okay? I love little phrases and things like the grass seed one. And there was one years ago that said nobody goes to a DIY store to buy a drill bit. They don't want a drill bit, they want a hole. Well, that's not even true because you can take it further. I want to be able to hang that photo of my two sons proudly on above my fireplace so that I can look at it and get a warm feeling and everybody that comes in my house can get a warm feeling. That's the emotion attached to a drill bit. But that's how do you see what I mean? It's about taking it as far as you can. Now, if you think about that, it doesn't really matter what country you're from. We all want what's in it for me. It's not being selfish, it's just human nature. What's in it for me? What will this product do for me? So if you can express that, then I don't think it matters what the extension is. I really don't. Test, though.
Thank you.
How will the advertising agency get round? I mean, .com is worldwide, but it includes Britain. How are they going to get around that?
.com, they're not policing it the same as the ASA, the Co-UKs. If you're selling in sterling, isn't it? If you've got that option, I think you have to do it. But I'll tell you what you need to do. You need to go to the ASA website, Advertiser Standards Authority, and sign up, like we said, with your email to their newsletter. Myself and Darren get it. I think Andy gets it. And it tells you all the latest adjudications. For instance, Lewis Hamilton and the Reebok has been in it. Reebok shoes, and it was something to do with the material converts the energy from your body, whatever, and puts it back in your body. And they were saying you can't make that claim because that's in your tracksuits, not your shoes or something. And it's very interesting. You'll see there are quite a lot of nutritional things. There's stuff like high street shops that are claiming things. And there's a lot on... It doesn't necessarily affect like AdWords because one of the ones this week was Chichester, I think, windows. So that would be a keyword, windows in Chichester. You do Chichester windows. And the company was Anglian Advertising, Anglian Windows. But Chichester Windows is an actual company. And they were complaining. They said, well, we might think it's us. But they said, no, that's Google AdWords, that's keywording, that's different. So don't worry about it for that. But it's the content on your site.
And would you recommend that people go too far and get told off, or are too cautious and don't say enough?
I would say in between. I would say if you're not sure, contact them. we've been in contact, well, not me personally, but Darren and the team for a year, setting this up ready. They're very knowledgeable about what they're doing. They don't take, it's a big thing if you deal with Co UK. Hit them up, email them, get them testing. Nice people. This is what happens, you see. It's the same with the tax man, the VAT man, health and safety. People will bury it, put it off, and then keep putting it off, and they'll knock on the door with a court order. With ASA, it's the same thing. Talk to them and ask them, if you have got a particular problem, look, this is it, here's my product, it's legitimate, but can I say this, can I say that? They're not going to be around at the house arrested, they're going to talk to you and help you. That's what they're there to do, and they're still in a good mood at the minute.
Okay, thank you. Next question, please.
They're all stunned. Stunned them into silence. Who is this man?
Can I ask you, is that all right if I ask a question then? Thank you. Phil, you've talked a lot here about the simplicity.
Yeah.
And I always think that simplicity doesn't necessarily equal easy.
No.
Because if it was, and with all due respect to the point you're making, when I look at it, I think it's the most succinct presentation of lots of other stuff I've read all over the place.
Excellent.
So why isn't everyone doing it, do you think? What stops people doing this?
Same as me when I used to do this originally. The thing is, what they do, they look at what everybody's doing and they don't necessarily look at the right people, so they think that's an affiliate site, that looks easy to set up. And the problem online is there's never been a time in history where you can earn so much money so quickly, so easily. But that doesn't mean $1 million overnight. But people still make them promises, so people are out there looking, well, I don't want to do that. What, a week's work? But at the end of the day, it's not work, it's not digging ditches. I've worked in a concrete plant, I've done all sorts in the past, and it was physical graft. That's why I have this incredibly Herculean physique. So what you have to remember is, it's not work, it's enjoyable. You all started this in an enjoyable thing. You didn't think, right, I'm going to go and do affiliate marketing because I'm skint. You saw an opportunity and thought, you know what, I think, you know, for that one more time, I'm going to hit myself. You thought, that looks like an opportunity, I'm going to start moving towards that. But get yourself educated in it. You've come here, that is such an amazingly brilliant thing, because you've got up, you've come to this event, network, because you never know who else is in the room, and learn from today. I'm not saying everything I'm telling you is bound to work, it's right, it's such a big subject, but I'm trying to give you the things that I would definitely, hand on heart, use that. I do, all the time. And I know, because my first website was about 13 years ago, that works, because I've tested it. So when I put an identity on and a signature and a photo, my conversions go up. If I talked about benefits, not welcome to my site, we've got the best grass seed, I talk about my conversions go up. If I have a list, the thing is, it's not that your conversions go up, it's that you can keep communicating with them, okay? And they're more likely to buy once they've signed up to your list because of commitment and consistency. They're believing in you and trusting you and moving towards you, okay? So then keep them coming with this free, good information. Give them bonuses and things, not loads of, you can do it like, and then every fourth message say, sell, but you aren't going to do it as a massive sales pitch. You can just put it in the email, and by the way, don't forget that this, may go and read my story here, send them back to the site where you're telling them your story about why they should have this product, that kind of thing. But the reason a lot of people don't do it is because they think setting up a list is incredibly difficult and time consuming and takes a lot of maintenance. None of that's true. I did one last week. I put together, went to Nago, set it all up, and it took me from start to finish to put on the site. I'm not going to say 10 minutes, probably 3 hours. And that was quite expansive because I put in messages in, but that's a lot. And that's on the site when it's launched. That'll be on the site, the new site, and that'll be there forever until I take it off. And that's a 24/7 member of staff working for you, collecting emails and then sending them. In case you don't know, because I don't know what level you all are, at the other side of that email box is an online site called Aweber or GetResponse, and it's called an autoresponder because it responds automatically. So they put their email in, you can be on I know it's cliche, a fishing dinghy off the coast of Costa Rica, and that message, the next message, will get sent to them automatically. You load messages in it and say, I want this message sent in first, 3 days later send this, 5 days later send whatever, however you want to space it, okay? So all those are sent, okay? So that's keeping you in touch with your messaging, your free information, and they will stay subscribed if you give them valuable information. I do assure you. Okay?
Is anyone here? Yes. Question? Sorry, what's that mean? Oh. Oh, John's arrived. Ah.
I thought you were doing a mime.
Sorry, the next presenter's arrived. That's what that means. I must remember that for future presentations. Thank you. I thought it meant you were having a great day. Keep going. Yeah, yeah. That means the next presenter's here. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Anyone here? It's gone. Anyone here, in terms of Phil's points he's made, anyone here put those into practice and had good effect? Anyone? Yeah? You're already speaking. Go on. Tell us one of the things you've done. Can you speak into that?
When Phil was talking about the opt-in lists, I think that's a really important thing, and it's something that a lot of affiliates kind of miss out, really. I don't know whether it's because they don't know how to do it or because they don't feel they should do it. But, I mean, it does take time to build up a list. You're not going to build it overnight, but the main thing is that you're doing it, because once you've got a list, you can keep hitting that list with tips, as Phil says, and every now and again you slip a product in there, and you can start making that list, and a list alone, without even thinking about your website, can earn you thousands a month if you do it right and you spend the time building it up. And everybody's seen like the effect of the Panda update, for instance, and a lot of affiliates lost their rankings with their main websites from that. And if you've got an email list, then that's one way that you can help to minimise the effect of such a change in your rankings. You may lose your earnings from your main website until you can fix that and get it ranking again. But in the meantime, you've still got a list that you can be using to generate money. Because
that's off the radar. That's your bit that's not affected by Google. Oh, the other thing, quickly, as far as the list, I'm on Paul's list as well. He's got a list. Talk to the guy if you want to know about, because he does know what he's talking about. The thing is, what I was going to say as well, it's not about the numbers of the list. I know people with 2 million people on the mailing list. Literally, we used to work with them, 2 million people. They can send it out, you think, well, they could retire with one email shot. No, because it's not a very good quality list. They got them from all different sites and then didn't keep in touch with them. Okay, so it's great, we've got 2 million, but it won't convert very well. So they can send an offer out and perhaps get, you know, the click-throughs might drop into the tens of thousands. That's a 2 million, so it's not as big, okay? But I know other people with a list of 10,000 people or thereabouts, and they get like a big payday every time they send an email out because they've nurtured the list. It's not the quantity. Don't think, well, I ain't got millions. It doesn't matter. The other thing when you've got a list, let's say you get up to about 1,000, you can start doing list swaps. We do it. So what you do, you contact other people, perhaps in a non-competitive but complementary area, okay? And then you say, look, can I send my offer to your list? So you write an email for them to send to theirs, and you do vice versa. It costs you nothing. You get extra sales, but you get extra people. Send them to your squeeze page. Then you'll peel people off their list onto your list. There's even sites online. I can't remember what it's called. I'll have to look it up. But where there's people who want to do that, put their thing in like a Craigslist, but for lists. I've got a list of 500, and you can get some have got 100,000, and you can pick somebody about your same, and they want to swap. It's a brilliant idea. They've got a website for it now. So look for that once you've started building that up.
Phil, thank you. No, thank you. If there was one single thing that you want people here to take away that's going to really, really, really boost their income, get higher lists, attract more interest in the products, what would it be? Just one thing.
Copywriting. Talk about benefits.
Okay.
Talk about what's in it for them. I can't say it enough. I can't say it enough. I've never seen it fail when it goes from welcome to my site to benefit, and every time the conversions have increased. Every single one.
Thank you, Phil. Big round of applause. Thank you.